This year, on April 24th, the Orthodox Church will celebrate Easter. In Ukraine, Russian and Ukrainian soldiers will attend their respective Easter vigils in their trenches and bunkers. The split between the nationalities also manifests itself in their practice of religion. In 2019, the Ecumenical Patriarch of Constantinople recognized the independence of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church from the Russian Orthodox Church. This fired up the tensions between Moscow and Kiev. Religion plays a key role when it comes to national identity. While Russia always saw Ukraine as part of its territory, the majority of people living in this region increasingly turned towards the West, trying to break away from their eastern neighbor. Independence from the Moscow Patriarchate was another pivotal step. One of the most renowned experts on religion and dialogue, especially with the Orthodox Church, is Cardinal Kurt Koch, the president of the Pontifical Council for Promoting Christian Unity. He has worked for years to improve the relations of the Catholic Church with other Christian churches. EWTN Vatican Bureau Chief Andreas Thonhauser sat down with him briefly before Easter to discuss religion and the war in Ukraine.
Eminence.
Eminence. The days before Easter marked a time when we contemplate the suffering of Christ. The world has its eyes on Europe, the situation in Ukraine, the suffering of the people there. How do suffering and salvation go together? What could promise us hope, seeing the situation in Europe today?
Every time it is a surprise. Good Friday is loud. There is hammering. There is thunder. The night of Easter, however, is calm, silent. Only when the miracle has happened, the resurrection, one recognizes it. We see this also in the world today. The war and all these things that are loud and noisy. It is a real danger that we stop on Good Friday and Holy Saturday, that we lose hope and no longer believe that this will allow something new to rise. The great miracle. Pope Benedict XVI said that the resurrection is the biggest explosion of life that came through Christ. The mystery of Easter should motivate us to gain new hope despite the terrible reality.
Let's look on this conflict in the Ukraine, where also religion plays a role. Could you tell us which role religion exactly plays?
I would not say that religion plays a role, but the abuse of religion plays a significant role. In Ukraine, Christians are killing Christians. Orthodox kill Orthodox. And that is something terrible. The Russian Orthodoxy sees itself as a defender of persecuted Christians around the world. And this is a wonderful idea and important. We have to raise our voices for the persecuted. But when Christians start to kill each other, how credible is this? Therefore, I support what Pope Francis has said. A religious legitimization of the war is blasphemy. Whoever legitimizes war in the name of God does not speak in the name of our Christian God.
Cardinal Kurt Koch isn't the only one who finds strong words for the situation in Ukraine. Also, Pope Francis addressed the ongoing war in his Urbi et Orbi blessing in front of 100,000 faithful in St. Peter's Square for Holy Mass on Easter Sunday. Together with the Pope, they all prayed for peace.
Our eyes, too, are incredulous on this Easter of war. We have seen all too much blood, all too much violence. Our hearts, too, have been filled with fear and anguish, as so many of our brothers and sisters have had to lock themselves away in order to be safe from bombing.
Also during the Easter Vigil the night before, the Pope spoke about the invasion of Ukraine. At the end of his homily, Pope Francis acknowledged the presence of the mayor of Melitopol, Ukraine, Ivan Fedorov, who had been detained by Russian forces last month. A Vatican spokesman said that the Pope also met briefly with the delegation of local government officials from Ukraine ahead of the Mass. The Pope encouraged the politicians to do everything in their power to bring peace to their people. On Easter Sunday, he said,
"We struggle to believe that Jesus is truly risen, that he has triumphed over death. Could it be an illusion? A figment of our imagination? No, it is not an illusion. Today, more than ever, we hear echoing the Easter proclamation so dear to the Christian East. Christ is risen. He is truly risen."
While Pope Francis recalled the Easter proclamation dear to the Christian East, Cardinal Koch reminds us that there has been a long process of strengthening the dialogue between the Roman Catholic Church and the Russian Orthodox Church. He is positive that also Orthodoxy as a whole could benefit from this dialogue. Therefore, the Vatican hinted in the days before Easter that a meeting between the Pope and the Patriarch could very well happen in the not-too-distant future. A symbolic yet neutral place would be Jerusalem. The Holy City would be close to Lebanon, a country Pope Francis intends to visit this June.
There was this conversation between Pope Francis and Patriarch Kirill of Moscow. For the Patriarch, it was very important to be in touch with the Pope. The Pontiff was, however, very clear in this conversation and urged for peace and an immediate end of war. He made it clear that it is the average person who is paying this very high price for war, the faithful, our flock. The Pope said, "Non siamo clerici cello Stato, siamo pastori." We are not clerics of the state, but pastors. Therefore, we have to radically stand up for peace.
Energisch für den Frieden eintreten.